first meeting of the calendar year for Brandon Town Council. The first item on the agenda is the election of the chairman and the acceptances of office. And do we have any proposals for a town chairman, please? Nominations? Councillor Connell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'll nominate Councillor Phil Whittam as Chairman of Council.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Christecki.
No, I'll second it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Do we have any other nominations? Take it for any time.
Yeah.
Can we have a show of hands for Councillor Whittam as the Town Council Chairman for current year? All in favour, please.
Push.
Yes.
Sorry, yeah, I was reading.
So let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So be it.
Yeah, any abstentions? Do you need to record it or not?
Well, yeah.
Any against? I have one, Councillor Edmondson. And abstentions? Councillor Brabs, Councillor. Councillor Hughes. With that, I'd like to invite Councillor Whittam to take the chair.
Thank you very much, Councillor Brocklehurst.
Jackie.
It's a bit crowded. Good evening. Thank you for your vote. I have. Can you refer this to after? Carry on with the meeting. No reason why not.
It's recorded, so that you will have to.
I will. Yeah. First, a very, very warm welcome to all the new members around the table, and I'm sure you will find that we're all a friendly bunch at council. My first duty is to move to agenda item 2, which is the election of a vice chair and acceptance of office. And I would like to propose Councillor Brocklehurst.
Henry, do you want to second it? Second it, Gary.
Yeah. So second or second, yeah. I'll second it.
Are there any other nominations? Then I'll move to a vote.
For who?
A vote.
You can. Sorry, who's? We got 1, 2.
June, we've got a vote for a vice chair.
Yeah, who is the vice chairman? I didn't hear who it was.
Gary.
Oh, Gary, okay, yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 4. Against? 1 against. Any abstentions? 1. That makes 13. We're missing 1.
Sam.
Sam.
Oh. True. Sorry. So be it.
I would like to invite you to take your place as vice chair, please.
No.
You're welcome. Right, agenda item 3, apologies for absence and approval for reasons tendered.
Everyone's here, so.
Item 4, declaration of interest and additions to the member register of interest.
I think everyone's signed.
Sign that, yeah. To receive, number 5, to receive a report from Squadron Leader Geary from RAF Lakenheath.
Not attending, he sent his apologies.
Right, so that is not a problem. To receive, confirm and sign the minutes of the Brandon Town Council meeting of Tuesday the 11th of April 2023.
If I may, Mr Chairman, I propose.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder?
Sorry, sorry, who seconded?
Jules Savage.
Jules Savage.
Councillor Jules Savage.
You can't. You weren't at the meeting. Sure.
My fault.
No, you can't.
No, neither could I, wasn't it?
Thank you, Peter.
Okay. Show of hands. Yeah, can we have a show of hands, please?
It's only those that were at the meeting, so there's...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Any against? No. Okay.
Item number 7 on the agenda is matters arising for information exchange only of the full council meeting of the 11th of April 2023. I have none. Does anybody else have any?
No.
No. Agenda item number 8, urgent business. Anything that the chair may consider of urgent business.
I've not heard of anything.
Not heard of anything, I have nothing, so we will move swiftly on to agenda item 9 to receive written report from the town clerk, which is in your packs.
That's taken as well.
Anybody got comments on that or no? Item number 10, public forum. A monthly event limited to 3 minutes duration maximum per resident, and this will include reports from county, district, town and also community group representatives. For this I need to suspend standing orders, so do I have a proposer? Thank you, Councillor Buchanan. A seconder, thank you, Councillor Brocklehurst. Could we vote on that, please? Everybody can vote in this one. So,
Unanimous.
unanimous. Do we have any district report, Councillors Savage and Buchanan?
I'll
And
kick off.
county, first county with...
Thank you, Mr Chairman. County report, the High Street at the top end will be resurfaced shortly, and that'll include those big fractures on the bridge. I'm sure some of us have noticed that the Norfolk platform at the station is in operation, so you can get to the Thetford and Norwich with the train. The wheelchair ramp in the West Ward will be going in August. That's in St Peter's Approach or St Peter's Place. That's in front of the sheltered homes. So I will be doing my best for Brandon West. And that concludes my county report. I will just have a brief mention of the district report. Some of you who are interested in politics, not many, have obviously noticed that the Conservative Party have lost their majority at the district. So I'm not exactly sure where the negotiations are on that, but we will keep you posted as district councillors as things unfold. Thank you, Mr Chairman. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councillor Buchanan. at district level, there's nothing I can add basically to what Councillor Mechanic has said. So I will move on and say is, Councillor Palmer.
As a member of the public. Right, forest surgery, okay, that looks after 5,000 patients. We've got a full phlebotomy service back and running at there, so it's taking 100 people every Saturday morning. And the full-time one we're hoping is going to be down the centre down the bottom there. The day centre is no longer in threat of closure, as we've secured grants from Suffolk and Norfolk and elsewhere, so that has been no longer threat of closure.
Two very good pieces of news. Thank you for that, Councillor Palmer. Is there anybody else that would like to speak? Then I will re-engage the meeting. And move on to agenda item number 11, which is correspondence. None? Well, that was easy. Number 12, accounts to approve payment, the payments for April 2023, and we have those in our packs. Do I have a proposer?
Sorry, what's that? I was going to... Hang on, so who's proposing?
We need a proposer and a seconder before we can discuss the item. So proposer is Councillor Brocklehurst, seconder is Councillor Hughes. Thank you. Right. If you have queries, now is the time to ask.
Can I ask what the staff training was required? Staff training.
It's actually up front for Jackie and for Donna to go on an Excel training course.
What's an Excel? Extra large?
Excel. It's a Microsoft program.
It's a spreadsheet.
Is that an overnight stay, is it?
No.
Okay, that's in Leicester though, is it?
Where?
Well, I don't know, staff training Leicester it says. I mean, I'm only repeating what it says in front of me, yeah, Graham.
I think is that the person?
Hang on. Where are we?
Nearly at the
Which
bottom,
item?
Graham.
12th of April
Nearly at the bottom.
and the 13th of April.
I think it's
These
Kerry
texts. Sorry, these are. Sorry, we've got muddled up. Sorry, I beg your pardon. These were the two courses for Kerry to enable her to work on her own.
Right.
Was it just, could you explain a bit more? I mean, for reference sort of 1,100 odd pounds, I think the councillors ought to be told a little bit more.
Yeah,
Is
what-
that for a day, a week?
It's
To operate what, Graham? To operate what?
mowers, strimmers, blowers, and any other mechanised machinery that we have to have.
I just thought she was taken on with those skills.
No, you don't come with.
Any more?
Yes.
Thank you.
There's an anomaly here over the next page, 26th of April, and I'm sure there's an explanation because there always is. We're going to be paying a company called Some Bloke,
Yeah.
inverted commas, new cemetery store plans. Not a lot of money, but I still would like an explanation, Graham.
It's for the revised, for the plans for the cemetery store.
And this is the one that's going in on the left-hand side, is it?
Correct.
Who is this Some Bloke?
It's that's the trading name of an architect that does the visualisations and drawings for evolution.
I'm a bit puzzled by this, Graham, because we allocated £45,000 to a project manager down there, and we thought that we'd be dealing with him and there would be no more increases on that. But now I see somebody else has come in, Some Bloke, and we're paying him. Could I see what he's done for 270? Is the bill downstairs? Is there any chance of getting it? I'd like to see the bill, what he's done for £217.
Well, I did say that the that if there was queries, you should approach me once you've got this, and you've had all day today to
Yeah.
pick this up and to come to us. And see
2
that-
months ago, Graham, I asked you to give me an explanation on a £5,000 bill, and I've got the email at home, and you swerved me, right? And as yet, you still have not produced that bill. That needed close scrutiny. We need to scrutinise the expenditure down there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm done.
Thank
Please
you,
come in
Councillor.
and we will pull out any invoices that you so wish, and we will go through them, and I will show you everything. There is no blanket over this. There is nothing hiding. It's all there to be scrutinised and looked at. But to ask me on at 7 o'clock at night to go down there and dig out that.
It
Sorry.
it doesn't really give encouragement when we see we're paying a bill to some bloke.
Well, I can't help. I cannot help his trading name, can I?
It's not, yeah.
Tell me how I can change his trading name.
Yeah, but for a council,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
okay.
Councillor Brocklehurst.
There's one here for yourself, Graham. Reimburse the postage. Do we not have the franking machine anymore? Is that
No.
gone? Right, thank you. That's it.
The franking machine was costing us more in postage,
Yeah.
more than we were spending on postage. Even though we got a cheaper postage, it wasn't economic to do it.
I think I've looked at that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I just
Yeah, you're
I
right.
needed to check there. Thank you.
No, that's fine.
Councillor Ridgewell.
You've got 2 high visibility vests for a coronation event,
Yeah.
one lot at £9.98. And on the previous page, you've got 2 high visibility vests at £7.98. Can you explain why there's a £2 discrepancy, please?
They're different colours.
You got it from the same bloke, didn't you?
Right, I would
Honey,
like to move to a vote on the accounts payment for April 2023.
I propose.
It's already been proposed and
Just
seconded,
just
hasn't
test,
it?
just test.
Right.
show of hands.
Just a show of hands.
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Agenda item 13, to receive incoming expenditure statement against budget for March 2023. It is available in your packs. We have all received it, so I shall move on to item number 14, which is to note the minutes of the events committee meeting of 19th of April 2023. Again, that is all in your packs, and we note that it has been seen.
Right.
Agenda item number 15, to note the minutes of the planning committee meeting of 27th of April 2023. Again, that is in your packs. But I see I have several comments regarding it. Could I first go to Councillor Lucanik and then Councillor Ridgewell?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At the last planning meeting, we supported the planning application for the pizza outlet at the former bank. I note that you haven't put that in the minutes because we put a proviso that they do not replace the frontage with aluminium, they replace it with painted wood. That's in a conservation area and it needs to be more sympathetic. That is an important proviso that's not in there, and in fact our comments are not on the website, the West Suffolk website.
They were submitted to the website. I don't know where they've got to, but they were definitely submitted.
Well, you need to resubmit and you need to put that proviso, that's quite important. I'm just surprised that that's not in here, Graham. And I think I'll stand to be correct, but I think the chairman of planning will confirm what I've just said.
I do. The only thing I'd like to add to it is I believe plastic is acceptable in the conservation area.
Yeah, but that is not the crux of the matter. The crux of the matter that our concerns have not been relayed to the planning department.
No, I accept what you're saying.
It was definitely sent to them. I will check that, what's happened.
Yeah, but will you adjust the minutes, Graham, please? To put down,
Yes,
good.
Thank you.
Chairman, will you give me an assurance that that will be done?
I will make sure that that is done. We have the assurance from the clerk. I would also say on that matter that, yeah, we had agreed as a proviso for it to go ahead that they were not aluminium but replaced by wood, to be blending in with places like Cafe The Number, which I can never remember.
but it's got to be in line. What I think we put on there was that it should be in line with being in a conservation area.
Right. There was also, I believe, no ingress or exit by vehicle to the high street as one of our provisos.
That's in the actual application.
Yeah.
I just wanted, I brought it up because I wanted to make sure it didn't happen.
Yes, is that what
That's
they
right.
applied for?
That's right.
Yeah, they said there was, in the planning application, said there was no, it was going to be via the rear.
Yeah. Councillor Ridgewell?
Yes, with this application, I think it should have come to full council, this one regarding Barton's Bank. It says on here, for terms of reference, on number 10, at the request of 3 members of the full town council, an application may be called in to be considered by the full council. I believe this should have been called in, but the trouble is, you've got X amount of members on the planning committee, and most of the councillors do not know what is on the planning until we get what we've got in our hands now, a month later, 3 weeks later. I think this should have definitely been called in and discussed by the 14 councillors. When it was Barclays Bank, we all saw the problems when everybody went and got their cash out the hole in the wall. Some of the people just parked on the pavement, parked by the traffic lights, put their indicators on, got out and caused a whole battle of traffic behind.
Thank
There should have been some sort of stipulation that perhaps the firm could have sold their items from the back with the car park. Then people could have parked in the car park from Load Street, not then causing an obstruction in Brandon High Street by the traffic lights. If they're so interested, what the firm is, in bringing a takeaway, why didn't they buy Collins Fish Shop, where they've got a restaurant and also a takeaway business?
Thank you, Councillor Ridgewell.
There's going to be problems there.
Yeah. I will answer the Collins one. Collins isn't, the property is not up for sale. The family do not want to sell, which is why they didn't buy it. But I would ask Councillor Brabs if he'd like to comment on what you have said.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The planners are fully aware of what the problems will be, but they have thankfully introduced traffic wardens, so people that think they're just going to an AGM at Barclays Bank won't be doing that anymore without ticket. I don't see it as a major problem in the town. There is no access from Load Street to High Street, which there used to be when it was a bank. They used to come out in the middle of a traffic queue, or want to turn in that way. I don't see it as a major problem. Had I done so, I would have referred it back to the full council.
Thank you for that, Councillor Brabs. Councillor Lucanic.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to remind my colleague, Councillor Ridgewell, that you are perfectly entitled to put pen to paper and object to that planning application. All you do is put it in the post to the planning department.
Yeah, that's.
And then your views will go online, Pete. And then you might generate some movement.
One vote is not going to make a hope of a difference. I noticed that your planning that you had, you was only 28 minutes discussing half a dozen planning applications. 28 minutes. How long did you go on about number 5?
And we're trying to cut that back as well from 28.
Because I worked out get out of bed to do this.
You can't bring it, can you?
Through the chair, please. Thank you very much. So we will take it that there are comments, and Graham will amend the minutes on that, and we note the minutes of the planning committee meeting. I move on to agenda item 16, which is to do review of delegation arrangements to committees, subcommittees, staff and other local authorities. And for that, I will hand over to Graham, our town clerk.
Yeah, I actually look after some of the ones for in this section, i.e. South, Knout and West Suffolk, so effectively that's down to me, plus anyone else that wants to come along to the South meetings. If anyone wants to.
Yeah, for our new members, SALC is Suffolk Association of Local Councils and NALC is National Association of Local Councils. They are local and national advisory bodies to how councils run and interpret some of the law relating therein. I think that's covered that.
Yeah.
Right. Item number 17 on the agenda is to review the terms of reference for committees. We all in our packs have the terms of reference, and again on this I will pass over to our town clerk.
Yeah, I mean, unless anyone's got any huge desire to change them, this is what we had from last year, and I would suggest that we adopt the same, unless we want to bring it back to full council and amend them. Sure.
Thank you for that, Graham. Yeah, they do get reviewed every now and then as time passes and updated as required, but I've looked through these and they all seem, as Graham says, fine, so we will move on to item 18 on the agenda, which is to appoint councillors to community groups for 23-24. We have the Remembrance Playing Fields and SALC. So that's open to the floor for anybody who thinks that they might wish to do these jobs as a councillor. If it's a case that we have so many new councillors and they're not quite sure what they would be letting themselves in for, then I would suggest we defer until they can have a word with Graham or myself. And
Can I just make a point?
yes,
The Remembrance Playing Fields is they need one district councillor and we need one town councillor. As far as SALC is concerned, anyone that prepares to put their name forward to attend meetings with myself will be fine.
If you could tell me, Graham, how many times they meet per annum?
Who? Which one?
Remembrance Playing Field.
Monthly.
Monthly. Jules, do you fancy that?
I've always regulated about that.
Okay.
I don't want to commit myself to it.
Yeah.
So it's down to yourself or councillor and mechanic.
or we could have Jules on the side and say, this is what you do. So,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to pencil that in, I've just I've been pushed for.
I mean, that is a nice one. That's a nice nice committee. You will get a drink down there.
Water.
Whoopee.
And what about town?
anybody from town?
Well, would Dave be the ideal person, as he was on it before?
Who?
Dave Barlow. You was on it before, weren't you?
I've done it before, it's West Suffolk Council. It's
No, for town.
For town, oh yes. Can I speak it's West Suffolk Council that appoints, does the appointment for Brandon Plurals Barfields.
Was it West
Town
Suffolk?
Council, West Suffolk.
Oh, right.
Does that appointment.
Right, so we'll leave that one then. Sorry,
Okay.
I did beg your pardon.
Yeah.
So we
You
need one from town then.
You misled me.
Yeah, sorry.
Henry, you fancy going down
Right,
there?
so it's just a town councillor required that would like to attend meetings of the Remembrance Playing Field once a month and just represent the town at those meetings.
I'm already covered on that committee through the meetings.
You are.
If nobody
Any
wants
people
to,
allowed to?
I'll have to.
Sorry?
Any people allowed to?
Yes.
Then I'd love to.
That's very kind. Thank you, Nikki. Yeah, Nikki. Sorry.
Right, I'll put that down. Okay.
And we will await on West Suffolk District Council to appoint.
Yeah, can we just have a vote on that, just to say that we've,
Yeah.
we've got Salk as well, we did the lot all together previously.
Yeah. So we need a member to sit on SALC.
Yeah.
Explain. Yeah.
David?
Thank you, David.
Done it before.
Done it before.
Yeah,
Right, so I will put that to a vote of the,
so we need a proposer and a seconder.
yeah. Well, I'll second you propose.
Whichever way.
Whichever way round, Bob.
Yeah, okay.
And
Vote.
a vote. Unanimous. Thank you very much.
Right. Now we've got-
Agenda number 19, appoint members for Brandon Town Council committees and working parties. Now we have the Eastward Lighting Working Party. Explain working party?
Well, to note things that are out, need repairing.
Yeah, basically the east-west
The
And-
central.
and central.
is missing, so
central is missing, so
we
we will.
need one for central.
Okay. Now, basically, that's somebody who will go round and note if there are street lights out, and every now and then, and report them.
Yeah. Can I make
Councillor Lucannon.
Can I make a suggestion here? Because over the last 4 years it hasn't really worked. There was enthusiasm in the first couple of months, and then, so, I mean, in me as a West Ward councillor, if I see a light is out or somebody informs me a light is out, then I will come into the office. So I will act on the lights in the West Ward. And is there a possibility that our new district councillor here, Jules, can act on the lights in the central ward, and then you, Chairman, as a district councillor in the East Ward, you can act on the lights in the East Ward, so that we don't have any committees and we try and streamline the council.
Yes, I would agree entirely with that, and I'm quite happy to do that, and I'm sure Jules is as well.
Okay.
And
Well, I did Westward because I was there. I did that before.
you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you would like to have your name there as well, that is
Well, I'll do it
absolutely
because I
fine.
drive round. I can see the lights all around
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
that sort of thing.
That's brilliant, June.
Yeah.
So June Hughes is down the West Ward lighting.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
I think if, maybe Mr Chair, if we could get something on the website so that people know, well, if they're going to put it on the website, they're going to report it to you anyway, I'm grand.
Yeah.
You know, it's just having points of contact, isn't
Well,
it?
Yeah.
effectively it should go through, they should report it to West Suffolk, because all they're doing is just reporting it to us, and then we report it to West Suffolk, so.
I think a lot of people are aware of things like Fix My Street now and things like that.
I think it's becoming more well known.
But anyway, we do it whatever happens, but yeah,
Right, I would like
planning.
planning. Would anybody like to sit on the planning committee? I will say that the planning committee is the only committee in the council that has autonomy to make decision on its own without bringing to full council. From that point of view, it is quite an important position to take. Councillor Lucannon.
I would like to continue on the planning committee with this council, Chairman.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And I'd like to,
Yeah, you've
for
already,
planning, it's an
you
important
have
one.
already,
Go on,
Show interest,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, do.
Henry.
Did actually sound like
Yeah.
to be that, yeah.
yeah.
I would like to continue. Bob?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Terry?
Sorry, who else was
So
it?
you've
Terry-
got Councillor Lucannon,
Councillor-
Henry Kuczewski, Gary Brocklehurst and myself,
And Councillor Nolan.
and Councillor Nolan.
How many's that? 5?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah.
Yeah, 5 is enough. Well, that's just my opinion, I mean.
It isn't. Usually, Mr Chairman, I don't think 5's enough because
Okay.
in the last council, when we were in planning, we had times where we had to pray a straggler came in late so that we could be quorum. So I don't think 5's enough.
Another one.
Seriously.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say.
Councillor Buchanan?
Well, if you have 5 reliable people, they will pitch up. I mean, I've sat on planning several years now and you core up with 3 people, you can function with 3 people. Never have we failed to deliver on a planning committee while Bob has been in charge. And we've been down to 3 people sometimes.
Yeah.
I just think 7 people is
Never three.
too... We don't
Never
actually...
It's always been more than 3, hasn't it?
We don't actually give planning consent. They just ask us for an opinion. So,
Correct.
you know, it's important, but I'd be happy with 5 personally. That's just my opinion.
I too would be happy with 5, I don't see it as an issue.
Could we just, if it's not working, we could always bring
We
a
can
couple
always
more
come
in,
back.
can't we?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So,
Cemetery committee is full council.
Cemetery Committee is full pass, or emergency panel.
I was Clark going.
Telephone.
It's Clarky going out now.
Oh, right, sorry.
I wonder what's going on.
Yeah, I wondered what-
His phone as he left.
What was going on?
Right,
The emergency panel, over to you, Graham, to explain what it is.
in case of an emergency being declared in Brandon.
Flood, pestilence, plague. Councillor Edring.
The Jackie has been updating because it was very old, the bump. And how are you getting on with it?
Well, I had the celebration to organise,
Yeah,
so
you've got to
it's
be-
something that I
yes.
visit periodically.
It's in hand, there is a set,
Template.
yeah, thank you,
Differ.
with set
Differ.
people to contact.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's never been needed, but it is being updated. And honestly, if anything happens, it's the chairman that has to deal with it and the clerk. So there's no really need.
No real need for it. And if it's President Putin that presses the button, I think all we can do is kiss each other goodbye quickly.
Don't we wait for the government text then?
No.
Not
Councillor Buchanan.
I
I
didn't.
think if there was an emergency in the town, I don't think I'd be ringing your number, Councillor Richard. No disrespect, you know.
I think I'd be ringing the police.
I'd ring the
fire
police or
and
the ambulance and I'd have to give your number a swerve.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No disrespect.
So we will avoid that one, shall we?
Yeah,
Thank you.
at
Right.
this time.
The new cemetery working party. Oh, sorry, Councillor Ridgewell.
Right, if there was unfortunately to have an emergency, right, a real emergency, like, you know, whirlwinds and floods and things, where would we put the people other than St Peter's Church?
That is all in this information that's coming, will come out.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what the plan is all about.
Yeah, there's a lot of depend upon and people you have to contact. It's a set
Yeah.
procedure.
A
It's
lot
all
of-
written down.
Yeah, a lot of this will be overridden by, if it's a major disaster, West Suffolk would, we would be subordinate to West Suffolk.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if we had it at the church, shouldn't we have a contingency of tinned food placed in
No,
the church or wherever?
that's all in this template. It actually covers everything.
Yeah.
Covers your dogs, spare dogs and animals and
Okay.
it
Everything.
covers everything. It's all dependent on what the disaster is. You can't predict.
And although we have the plan, although we are making the plan, at the end of the day, we have to have this plan, but if anything happens, we just contact West Suffolk Council and they take over anyway.
Yeah. Councillor Buchanan,
Chair.
last thing on this subject.
I would prefer a pizza rather than tin food, if it goes as far as that, you know.
It depends where the
I just thought,
the emergency is if it's the Pizza Hut in the Barclays Bank that catches fire, I'm afraid we won't have pizza. Because we're so limited on suppliers in the town of cooked pizzas.
Yeah. Moving on.
Right. So it's the new cemetery working party. Councillor Etherington.
I would like to continue on that
Thank you.
continuity.
And me.
Councillor Hughes, thank you.
Anybody else?
Councillor Mechanic?
yeah, as a freshly elected West Ward member and the cemetery is in the West Ward, I think it's reasonable and appropriate for me to put my name forward
Yeah.
on the new cemetery committee.
Yeah.
As
Need some more?
I was on the committee, I will remain on the committee. Councillor,
Yeah.
there you are, you have your committee.
We also have lay people on as well.
We do, we do. we
Yeah.
do.
So we've got 5.
We have. Christmas events working party, which again is a lay, can be lay members as well.
But there are a lot of lay people on as well.
Yeah.
Depends.
Contributors to it.
Yeah. Anybody would like to be on the Christmas events working party?
Well, I was on it before, so you can put me on it again if you like.
Thank you, Councillor Hughes. Councillor Siebert.
Yeah. Okay. Anyone else?
Nikki Watts.
Claire.
Claire Watts, sorry. These are my reading glasses.
Oh, you're
It's
right.
not going to go that far.
Right. We've got 3. We could do some more.
Well, you've got Jill Blanchard will always
Yeah, no, I'm
have to
thinking of
come on
council
because of
members.
Creative Forum.
Yeah, Jill's
Ali
always on.
because of
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Well, maybe some would like to join it at a later time, but you've
they'll
got,
be called upon.
yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
early at the moment.
it's a
Let's
bit
just-
early and Christmas is hopefully still
Can
quite...
I say that I think they should plan a programme for the year though, not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think rather than event by event, I think you should
No, we've
come out with a year's worth.
got
But
this.
obviously anything that is decided or thought about would come back to full council and
Yeah.
be presented and discussed at full council anyway, so...
Right. So that's it. That one.
Okay, I will move swiftly on to agenda item 20, appointment of any new committees, unless anybody's got something burning. I haven't. I don't think there will be appointment of new committees at this time.
No.
So we will move on to agenda item 21. Review and adoption of Suffolk Code of Conduct. Now, we have 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 are all reviews of current situation. So on all of those, if I may pass over to the town clerk, go through them with him briefly, if
Right.
that's okay.
Yeah, well, the Suffolk Code of Conduct stands is as what it is. It's the new one which we adopted last year.
Yeah.
So we just need to continue that.
Standing orders ditto,
Yep.
Yeah.
which is in your packs. You have a copy
Yeah.
of the standing orders.
Yeah.
Review of representation on or work with external bodies. That's
That's for me to report back to full council
yeah.
and any other councillor that is happened to be on that external
Yeah.
body as well.
Thank you. Review of inventory of land and assets. We have that in our pack.
Yeah,
Um,
that was updated slightly from last year and is now in accord with our financial statements to the external auditors.
Thank you for that, Graham. Councillor Ridgewell?
Yeah, I was amazed at certain things here of what you're valuing. The old schoolhouse, surely that must be worth more than £400,000.
That's insurance value.
It's what?
That's just purely the insurance value, not what you'd sell it at.
So if it burnt down, that's what we're insured for, £400,000. I think if it was for sale, I think we'd get a lot more than £400,000.
Yeah, but then markets go up and down.
Okay, right. Street lighting, you've got it down here,
Yeah,
£459,000, that's the value, of 554 lampposts.
yeah.
The last one, last month, we forked out £3,169.30 for one lamppost and a lantern.
Mm-hmm.
459,000, you're undervalued now, 554 lamps, aren't you? Because really that should be 1.5 million pounds. If we paid out for a brand new lamp, complete, over £3,000, then 459,000 is...
That's what it stands now, not what the new price would be.
Well, isn't this what you're valuing for 23, 24?
I'm not looking at what it would cost us to replace with newies. That's what your value is at the moment.
I think Gary's going to sort of say something.
Is this like it's?
Could I go to Councillor Cannock first? He was-
No, go on, Gary.
Yeah, is this not like a general accountant's thing?
Yeah.
Where what it is, Peter? It's where it was valued at 3,000 to start with, and then it depreciates year by year, and eventually it's worth nothing.
No,
Is
it's
it
not
like that?
depreciating, no.
No.
No, that's the value.
What the original?
Yeah, that's roughly where we are now. I mean, you can say, I can't tell you exactly how many, of type A's and type B's we've got. That is just a value that we put on it.
No.
It's not a definitive value to replace everything if they all got knocked down.
No.
Could you ask me, who's put the value on this? You? You as the town clerk? Have you valued all this? All what I've seen on this sheet, have you valued it, or has a professional person valued our items?
That's what I've done.
Okay. Right, I'll just have one more go on this, mate, please. The snow machine, the last one down on the sheet.
Yeah.
We paid £900 for that, just recently. Why have you got it down as £750?
Because £900 was including VAT.
Yeah, but isn't the item still worth £900?
No, because you've got the VAT back. Anything
I know we get the VAT back, but the value of the item.
The value of the item is £750.
Okay.
Plus VAT.
Plus VAT. VAT is not the value of the item. That goes off to
Government. I know. All right.
Thank you. Councillor Mechanic and then Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Graham, just a quick question. The garden room, that's appeared. I haven't seen that on the assets in previous years. The garden room, 2,300.
Back there.
Sorry.
What is the garden room? That's a new addition to the assets.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Christmas.
that's the out in the back there.
Okay, but
Where Santa Claus
Yeah.
yeah,
sits.
but
Yeah.
that forms part of Old School House. You've dragged it out and made it a separate item. That stands part of the curtilage of Old School House. You should have valued Old School House at £402,000 and £300.
Thank you, Councillor
It's a
Mechanic.
separate building, so I
Councillor
just
Brass.
left it as a.
Please may I ask the clerk, why does depreciation not come into this? Because what we bought, for example, the Gator, is now a few years old, and it's not an asset at what we paid for it, it's what it's valued now.
True.
So are these figures skewed?
I've taken what we had previously and I've just added.
Yeah,
to
but
it.
I'm saying it should depreciate. There is a set government depreciation on equipment, and the value of the mowers all goes down by a set amount till you end up they're valueless
Yeah,
on the books.
on the books.
Then you sell them.
Yes.
Councillor Mechanic.
I think it's meant as a rough guide, and it's not set in stone.
Correct.
And I'm quite happy with the total valuation on that, and I think Graham's done the right thing.
I mean, you know, to go. Sorry to cut across.
Yeah.
I do beg your pardon.
Okay.
But I mean, you know, to go through every last hand tool that we possess and put a value, you know, to cost it and value it.
I'm happy with your valuation.
Sorry
to cut across your bows.
It is a, as I think what you said was a rough guide, an estimate, not a definitive.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm moving on. 25 was confirmation of arrangements for insurance cover. I will treat everybody to that because it was completely done last month at the last council meeting, and
Can
it's
I
all
just-
in place.
That is it.
Yep. Review of body of councils and or staff subscriptions to other bodies. Very quickly, Graham.
Right, we pay £1,300 effectively to SALT for membership to them, and £170 to the Federation of Burials and Cremation Authority.
Thank you for that. The review of council's complaints procedure, that is in the pack, and I did have one quick query on that, if I may, which was, just bear with me. Yes. Second but last page, the council will not transfer HR-related personal data to countries outside the EEA, the European Economic Area. I think we need possibly to review that at some time because we are no longer in the European Economic Area, and I would not like my personal details going to Brussels. Now we're out of the EU, so is that something we...
Good point, Councillor Richard.
Right. It's in this town...
Oh, it's data protection.
Yeah, data protection.
Sorry, I thought you said...
Complaints, you said complaints.
No, I didn't. Complaints earlier. Yeah. So if we could look at that at some point and change it. Yeah, borrow my copy on that one. Thank you very much.
I'll deal with that.
How is it?
Yes, certainly. We're now looking, where are we?
Mr. Chairman,
We've done the complaints review. Bob.
can we get it altered now, because we're going to ultimately vote and accept it. So
Yes,
what
yes.
you wanted needs to be
Yes, so that
done
needs to
now
that needs to be altered
before we
now.
vote on it.
Second but last page, Graham.
Please.
There you go, highlighted.
Right, okay. So you need a proposer then.
Oh, Councillor Brads and Councillor Lucanic. Can I put that to the vote? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Point taken. Good idea.
Where are you then? Right, 28, freedom of information, which comes under the same heading. Councillor Brocklehurst has something he would like to raise.
Yeah, over the last maybe 4 years, I've actually asked, I think, 4 freedom of information questions, and none have been answered. I haven't followed them through anywhere, but there must be something going on somewhere in the procedure if you're not getting them. It must be an email address. I know we've had issues with change websites a lot, so we might need to look at that there, Graham, if we possibly can, please.
Yeah, of course.
Item 29, review of the council's policy for dealing with press media. Again, I think that's the same as it always has been, and if it needs adjustment, can be done. at a future time, but at the moment I think it stands the test of time. Thank you, Graham. So,
Can we just have a vote to
on
tie
all,
this up?
yeah, on all of those items en bloc, do I have a proposer?
Proposed.
Councillor Mechanic.
June Hughes second.
June Hughes second. Can I have a show of hands, please? In favour? Unanimous. Agenda item 30, to determine the time and place of ordinary meetings of the full council up to and including next annual meeting of the full council, which will be at this time next year. We have in our packs
That's
a
this sheet,
sheet.
Mr Chairman.
Yeah.
Councillor Mechanic.
That's this sheet here, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm happy with that, by the way. Thank you, Mr Chairman.
Thank you. Anybody got any queries on it? No. Could I have a proposer for that, please?
Proposed, Chairman.
Thank you, Councillor Mechanic. A seconder. Councillor Brock. Oh, sorry. I saw his hand
That's
first.
okay, either one. Either one.
A show of hands, please. Unanimous. Thank you very much. To confirm, item 31, to confirm the lead person for safeguarding. That was June previously. Are you
Yeah.
happy to continue?
Yeah, I'm up to date with it because my organisation I have to be, and
Yes.
I've just done another course.
Brilliant.
So
Councillor
today.
Mechanic, you wish to
Yeah,
speak?
June Hughes has looked after us incredibly well over the last 4 years, and I think she'd make a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Right, so proposer.
Proposer, Councillor Mechanic. Seconder,
Claire.
Councillor.
Yeah,
Claire.
Claire's put a hand up.
Yeah, thank you. A show of hands for June to be our safeguarder. Thank you very much. I'd also like to thank you, June, for your sterling work, and
No problem.
long may it continue.
Thank you.
Before I continue any further, which is to item 32, the resolution to exclude the public and press, I would like to thank our town clerk and all of his staff in the office for the very hard work that they've done over the last few weeks of this 4-year cycle of crazy election time and in producing everything for this meeting. So thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, thank you.
I should pass
Yeah.
that on to everyone.
Thank you, and I would also like to thank the ground staff for their sterling work over the last period of the council, and look forward to working with them on this new council. So they have done well, and I wish you could pass that on as well, and I'm sure everybody supports me in that. Having said that, I would now like to move on to resolution 32, the resolution to exclude the public and the press, that pursuant to the Public Bodies Admissions to Meetings Act 1960, the public and the press be excluded from the meeting temporarily due to the confidential nature of the business to be discussed concerning quotes, land, staff or contract. Do I have a proposer? Thank you, Councillor. Lieutenant proposed, Councillor Brocklehurst seconded. Sorry? Yeah, do. Could I have a show of hands, please? Thank you very much. Thank you for everybody for attending.